You see, chosen ones, when it comes to triangulation, I've got experience in this, but I've always seemed to not use that terminology for it. I've always looked at it as more like a smear campaign. Because you see, these narcissists, they paint a picture to another party. So triangulation is between 3 points. That's the only difference between that and a smear campaign. A smear campaign can be more widespread and be more rampant through lots of individuals, but triangulation can be between 3 points, and it's normally them, another party against you. You're the real victim, but you're painted as the bad guy. And they do this constantly, and the way I say to fight it, yeah, you have to kind of out them. This is a chance for you to out them. And I know sometimes saying less can be more beneficial, but if you don't let it get too out of control, you've got to defend your corner, because you can't let this narcissist just drag your name through the mud. You need to kind of out them. That's my personal opinion. Take what you can from what I'm saying and disregard the rest. But in my personal experience, I had to try and out them. I remember one time, the narcissist, this was more of a triangulation than a smear campaign, but it's similar. They were going to their friend's house and they were painting a negative image of me. They must have been. Now I look back in retrospect, I didn't realize they was. And that individual, their friend's boyfriend, they mentioned one day that he was there, and she kind of said something. We're not from the same area either, so it wasn't like that I would know the person or anything like that. But I think looking back now, God just gave me a little sign. I thought in my head, that sounds like someone I know. But I didn't say anything. It was just a thought. Now, that individual, her friend's boyfriend and her friend come round one day when I was just at the house by myself to pick up some furniture. But when I went to the door, I knew who the person was. So basically, that triangulation didn't work, because she was painting a picture of me to someone. Little world did she didn't know that I knew the boyfriend. So, but if I didn't know the boyfriend, that could have turned into a different situation. He may have tried to attack me or defend her or do some heroic stuff, not knowing that I'm actually the victim in the situation. But this is what they do. They paint a picture of you, and they'll do it to anyone, and they're seeking other sources of supply. Now this is giving them supply because and you're the fuel. They're just burning your name up, you know what I mean? They're throwing your name under the bus, they're putting your name on the flames, and they're burning it up just to get a supply, yeah? And they don't care. And this is what they're doing with these other individuals, and it can be a reason for a bigger plan down the line. It can be a reason for their more sinister plan. So that's why I say you have to defend your corner and try and out them. Another example was this individual got the police involved against me. Okay, they got the police involved. I got arrested. But when it got to the court, or the plea of not guilty or not guilty, I showed the solicitor my file of all of the fake profiles that have been contacting me, showing their breasts, like naked pictures and stuff like that. And the judge didn't even want to see it. Yeah, the judge didn't even want to see it. But my solicitor defended my point and said that the individual had been sending him these photos and had been sending him this content. And they released me, so I wasn't remanded. I didn't get put on remand in jail, which means getting held before the court date. I actually got let out, right? And I had no previous convictions or anything like that. But still, the way that they was painting the picture, it was like I was the worst individual ever, yeah? And they seem to, I'm not saying always, but police normally seem to go on the woman's side. Authorities need to go on the woman's side, and that's kind of a form of triangulation. That's the reason why I brought it up, because even though the police is multiple individuals, it's still a figurehead. It's them getting the police against me which then turns into a smear campaign because it's getting courts involved, family members involved. It's dragging my name through the mud. But I kind of outed them to the best that I could. And the problem is, is because they're telling individuals stuff about your name. These individuals take it upon themselves, like I mentioned in that first scenario, to be the hero, to come in and defend the individual. Like I said, like the boyfriend that could have possibly been someone else that if I didn't know them, but he knows me from day one, so therefore he knows I'm not about that. He knows me more, he knows me longer than I knew her. Yeah, so therefore she couldn't really drag my name through the mud with that individual. It didn't work out in her favor that time. Yeah, but the problem was in the court is I wasn't allowed to speak to her. Yeah, I had to be silent or let my solicitor do the talking. So that's why, and the solicitor, when I look back now, it cost money and stuff, but it was a waste because it wasn't a waste because it prevented me from going to prison and stuff. But I had evidence, like, for example, there was a false witness. There was a false witness that made up an accusation against me, but I was able to prove that accusation as false. Yeah. But my solicitor didn't bring that up in the court case. So there was many things that my solicitor didn't want to bring up. And that's why I say, like, be careful for who's defending your corner as well. Because you need someone who's really on your side to defend your corner. Because these in my situation, I'm not sure if this will affect you, but in my situation, obviously my solicitor didn't want to look a certain way or in front of a judge. So and the solicitor and the defense, the defense and the opposite side, the prosecution, are both really on the same sides. Both of the lawyers in the higher scheme, grand things of things, they know each other well. And both for you and the person involved are just merely clients to them. So they kind of still hold a bit of respect for each other. And it's all this ancient law stuff to do with the court system and all of that. But probably I've gone way off topic. But what I'm trying to say is they use a third party against you. So however you can nip that in the bud, you need to out them. And if there's an individual that you think or you're in a relationship with that is out in your name in public, even if some of the stuff they're saying is true, they shouldn't be out in your stuff. You should be dealing with it like a couple. A real couple, if there's issues that one wants to deal with in the opposite side, a real couple, is going to deal with that between themselves. That's an adult way to do it. They're going to deal with it one-to-one. They don't need to go and get a third point of contact involved and make this triangulation and start dragging your name through the mud. And it's only going to intensify and get worse. You have to understand that the reason that they're doing this triangulation is because there's a bigger picture involved. The bigger picture is dragging your name down. The bigger picture involved is destroying your image. The bigger picture involved is something probably way more sinister than I've even described. It could be a grander scheme, a grander problem than even just destroying your image. But that's a big enough thing alone. Just destroying someone's image and reputation, right? They were destroying your reputation in the workplace, or they're destroying your reputation in the area you live, or whatnot. This is like, it's painful. Do you know what I'm saying? And you go through this experience being the real victim, and everyone looks at you as you're the problem, and you're the real victim in the situation. And only a narcissist pulls this one off. A narcissist pulls this one off with ease. They can get people, all their flying monkeys. They can get all of these organizations and people going against you. You know what I mean? But you need to figure out a way to prove them wrong. And when you prove them wrong, this causes a narcissistic injury, a severe narcissistic injury. Severe. So be aware of the repercussions of that, because they're going to come back with something else. But you need to scar them up. You need to not physically scar them up, but I'm trying to say you need to scar them up spiritually, and mentally, to know, don't mess with you, because they shouldn't be trying to out your name like that. Do you know what I mean? And the way you can do that is stand your ground. At least stand your ground, fight your corner the best way you can, Yeah, you may not always succeed because they're so good at this stuff. Yeah, you may not always succeed, but at least stand your ground and defend your corner. And if this situation isn't involving police and courts and stuff, well, you know, like my situation, it was hard for me to defend my corner. It was very hard because I couldn't speak in the court because she had a thing trying to claim that I'm this and that, so I couldn't speak to her, right? But this is the same person that still contacts me to this day through fake profiles and stuff like that, right? This person done all this drama, and this is the point. There's no sense to what they're doing. They're weirdos. They're weirdos. And if you're still in a relationship with this individual, you know, you have to know, right? First things first, right? If you're watching this content, you need to make sure that the person you're dealing with is a narcissist. So I'm sure I've got some videos on that of signs, but look for the signs. If they're definitely a narcissist, then what are you hoping to achieve with that individual? Do you think you can deserve better? Are you trauma bonded and dependent upon that individual? Codependent? Do you need that individual to survive? You know? Are you waiting till they get rid of you? What's going to happen if this individual ends up branching off to somewhere else and does something against you? Then you're going to be left feeling like, why didn't you go out on them time ago? Because how do you know they're not lining up supplies? I don't know your situation personally. I'm just putting out ideas about what they're like and learn from the experience of others. There's people in the comment sections that have mentioned stuff. There's stuff that I'm sharing with you. A lot of these narcissists will discard. A lot of these narcissists will discard. And even if it's up to you, do you know what I mean? You need to make your move. Like, all I'm saying is we're all destined for someone empathetic and someone better. Yeah, but also make sure that you are dealing with a narcissist. Make sure they're 100% narcissist. Look for the signs of a narcissist. And if they're causing you this problem and this grief in your life, then you know what I mean? It's best we don't have that. And sometimes God or the universe, right, is going to cause a separation between yourselves, which will take place because God knows better. Like, he knows we won't act. He knows we're too empathetic. He knows we'll stay stuck in the abuse. He knows we'll put up with it. We put up with it for long. People stay in these relationships for decades, and they only eventually wake up to the truth. So learn from the experience of others and do what you think is best for your life. Yeah, no one can tell you how to live your life, but my videos are just there as an indicator and to bring you some information. And what agrees with you, take it, and what you disregard it. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, thanks for watching. Please press the like and the subscribe button. And if you want a one-to-one session, you can find my details in the description box. Anyway, peace.